Hello, 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 everybody. Hey. Sorry, a little late popping on. Couple minutes, my phone just decided to ding like crazy when it was time to hit the button. It's How to Tuesday. Yes, all about fire. Fire. Right? So we're going to learn all the stuff that I know to show you about painting fire, different types of fire. Same general colors though. Fire doesn't change no matter what it's burning. But anyway, hello everybody. So say hello if you're practicing with me tonight. This is a practice session. There is no actual painting. We're just going to do practice. And my name is Eve. This is Eve's Creations Paint Party, and we're going to have a good time tonight. So say hello if you're practicing with me. Let's say hi to the Mr. Butters. He might be chiming in, so we got to give him a little bit of camera time. You know what I'm saying? So say hi to your fans. There he is. There's the man of the hour. So I'm going to put you all in your handy dandy holder. I'm going to pour my paint. Hello, Judy. How you doing, sweetheart? Hello. So same colors that I'm going to use, that I usually use for every party, right? Definitely red, yellow, white. I'm going to throw some black and blue onto my palette because, I don't know. I might use them. I might not use them. Who knows? We'll see how it goes. I have a menagerie of supplies on my table. So I have all sorts of brushes going on. I have my knives. I have my palettes. Hey, Emmy. How you doing, sweetheart? So we got all sorts of things going on over here. And we're going to let me know when you're ready to practice. And I'm going to finish getting myself ready to practice. You'd think I'd do this beforehand, but this gives us time to say hello. Hey, Lisa. You doing the fiesta, girl? That's awesome. Yeah, those came out really good. Everybody doing the fiesta, girl. That was great. So Judy's here. Ami is here. Lisa's here. Joy is here. Hi, Joy. How you doing, sweetheart? So Lisa's been working on the fiesta, girl. So I'm going to pour my paint, guys. I'm going to get that taken care of. Let's get that taken care of. I got my canvas all ready. Obviously, there's nothing on it yet. Hey, Jackie, how you doing, sweetheart? I got a boo-boo on my thumb. Everybody notice that? I got one of those cuts, like, underneath my fingernail. It hurts like H-E double hockey stick. So I'm branding the big old nasty thumb tonight. Hey, Kim, how you doing? Hey, Jackie. So, Kim, first time on. Welcome to the fam. Tonight is a practice session, so we're not actually doing a painting per se. I'm going to show you how to paint, and I'm going to show you fire tonight. Fire. Hey, Penny, how you doing? All right, Jerry. Hi, sweetheart. Hey, Michelle. How you doing, sweetheart? All right, Jerry, you got it. Hi, sweetheart. Hey, Jackie. Hello, everybody. How y'all doing? I hope everyone's doing well this evening. I'm doing pretty good. Hanging in there. We're hanging in. So I'm just pouring some paint here. Same colors every single session. I got my white, my yellow, my red, my black, and my blue. Hey, Michelle. How you doing? So, what am I going to do here, right? We're going to be painting fire, and there's a few things I want to go over with fire. So, fire, honestly, is all about the glow. It's all about the glow, baby. It's all about the glow, right? So, to get a fire to look like a fire, there's a few things like in the flames and everything else, but it's pretty much all about the glow. So the first thing I'm going to show you is like if you had a forest fire. All right, so I'm going to turn around and I'm going to throw some background on here for you guys, right? So I'm just going to grab my my black and blue paint, and I'm going to do like a night sky. So I'm going to grab some black, I'm going to grab some blue, and I'm just going to simply put this across my canvas. All right. So it's just black and blue paint, making like a really nice dark sky. We're just throwing that on. I'm using Big Boy. He's a 1-inch flat. Hi, baby cakes. Okay, Jerry, I got you, girl. You and Cheryl, I have to remember. I'm going to write that down. I'll send you guys the link to the video, okay, hon? All right, so Cheryl asked me to do that too. So I have to take care of that. So I'm just putting some blue and black on my canvas. I love mixing the blue with the black because it gives it a little something something, you know what I'm saying? So whenever you do a night sky, and say the painting, whatever painting you're doing, and it just has like a black sky, I just flung blue paint somewhere, and so it begins. I'm flinging paint, people. I'm flinging paint. Kim, you'll get used to me. I make messes all the time. So anyway, try adding a little bit of blue in with that. This is my blue is a phthalo blue. It's that really weird word that's spelt really weird. It's P-T-H-A-L-O or something like that. It's a very strange word. P-H-T-H-A-L-O. P-H-T-H-A-L-O. That's how you spell phthalo. I don't know where they got that from, but that's the color that I use. I use Blick acrylic paints. They're student grade paint. So they're very, very user friendly. They're on the affordable side. They're great for people that are just learning. Some things you need an extra couple coats with. So, you know, I show that to you. I think it's good with acrylic paint to put more than one coat anyway. So, you want to see my tattoo? All right, Joy. I think you're the first person that ever asked to see my tattoo that I have. I'll show you in a second. Let me get this on here first. And I have to write down to send Jerry and Cheryl a copy of the link. Otherwise, I'm totally going to forget. Go for it, Lisa. Paint the whole thing. Go for it. I'm being a little slow this evening. So anyway, here's a really awesome night sky. If you have like a black canvas, you can turn around and just take the blue and put blue streaks across it. That's really fun too. And then you grab a little bit of black to help blend the blue. But if you have a black canvas, you can totally get that taken care of. So I'm going to throw my brush in the water. I'm going to make a note to send Jerry and Cheryl. Jerry wants a copy of the link. Oh, yes, she does. Jerry wants it. And Cheryl wanted a copy to the link. So I definitely have to. Nice, Lisa. That works. Practice. Yep, you guys have those like pads that you can get, mixed media paper pads. They actually sell canvas and pads. There's all sorts of things that you can use to practice on. So if you don't want to use an actual canvas, because I wind up taking all these canvases and gessoing over them. And I can show you one. So what I do is I take all of my canvases and I have the gesso project. Because I just, I just don't want to waste them. So when you gesso over a canvas, like you guys can see in the light, there was a painting back here. Yep, canvas pads are good too. Just tape your edges. So you guys can see in the light, there was a painting back on this canvas. And when I gesso over it, this is about 2 to 3 coats. Depends on the quality of gesso that you have. And if you want to get all the ridges out, you just lightly sand in between coats. And when you gesso your canvas, you can have it being nice back to blank. And even if a little bit of the colors from the previous painting are showing through, once you add color to your painting, it's going to cover right over that. So this is what a gesso, G-E-S-S-O canvas would look like once you're done doing the process. So if anybody didn't know about that little tidbit or that little product, you know, I get on the sides there. You can see the little bit of ridges from like doing the gesso. So obviously through the light, there was a painting on there I covered over. But then when you look at it nice and straight on, you'll see that it's all ready to go just to put just to start all over, brand new and fresh. So that's one way to get some extra use out of your canvases. Now, I don't recommend doing that more than twice, because if you have too many layers on there, what could happen is it could start to flake off. So if you're gessoing over your canvases, I don't recommend more than twice. I highly recommend just doing it once, but if you want to do it again, you can. You just got to be careful. Yes, you can do that. I don't sand. I like having all the different little imperfections. I like having all the bumps and the, you know, it kind of is like, you know, like it's telling the story of the canvas. So I keep them all on there. But some people, if they, Lisa, I know you want like a nice complete flat surface. So if you sand in between coats, lightly sand, like very fine paper, nothing crazy, because if you use really coarse sandpaper, you're going to wind up putting ridges in. So really fine sandpaper, and you just do a few little swipes over the top of it. It'll smooth it right out and get it like a baby's bottom. Like a baby's bottom. All right, back to our fire. Okay, so I have this night sky in here, and I'm just going to throw in, I'm swirl tap dabbing my brush, and you know what, I'm just going to grab a different brush. So I'm going to throw in, maybe not that brush, I want to throw in some trees here for you. And I want to use Big Boy, I want to use my paint party brush. He's a 1-inch flat. Okay, Coralie, that's okay. We're going to miss you though, hon. We're going to miss you. So what I want to do is I'm just going to throw in, let's grab some yellow, some red, some white, and some black. And I'm going to make a brown real quick. So yellow, red, white, and black will give you a brown. If it's looking too purple, you add more yellow. If it's looking too green, you add more red. And I guarantee you mix those 4 colors together, yellow, red, some white, and a little bit of black, you will get a brown. So what I want to do with this is I just want to throw like a tree line in here. So I am just putting like trunks of trees in here, just like a little tree line, right? Because the fire needs to burn on something. It needs to burn on something. So I'm just going to throw these in here so I know where my trees are. All right, so we're just throwing this in here, and it's all right if it turns around and picks up some other colors. It's all good. It doesn't matter. I'm going to make this all brown in here just so it could turn around and we know it's there. So this is just to kind of give me a guideline of where my tree line's going to be, and throw some background trees in there. I'm going to grab just some black, and I'm going to throw some black lines in there, right? So we're going to throw all that on there real quick like. And what I'm going to do is when you put your glow from the fire, some of these lines are going to show through the glow. So you're going to see like a forest in the background. Okay, so right there, bam, just like that, we have a little forest. All right, and we're going to go back to that because all that has to dry. So the next thing I'm going to show you, since I have the brown on my palette, I'm going to start a little campfire down here. So what does a campfire have, right? It has logs in it, right? So I'm going to throw a line this way, a line that way, and I'm just going to go swoop, make a little rounded edge. Make a little rounded edge just like that. And do one this way, make a little rounded edge just like that, right? So this way it looks like logs in a campfire, and then you turn around underneath and you just finish that off with another line. Finish this off with another line, just like that. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, no big deal there. Okay? And then I'm going to turn around and I'm going to put a line coming out. Let's see, let's put one coming out like straight out like that. Why not, right? Because we don't like put logs in a fire like normal people, right? We just kind of throw them in there. So just finish it off with a line like this. So here, now you have a little bit of firewood, right? So you just round those edges. See, the edge has a round, it's rounded. See that? Okay, so you just round those edges because wood logs are rounded edges, all right? And then I'm going to take my small brush. I'm going to take what I call tiny during my actual parties. This is a #1 round brush. Hey, Aaliyah. Okay, watch away, sweetheart. Hi, sweetheart. Hello, everybody. So this is a #1 round brush, and I'm just going to grab a little bit of white and a little bit of that brown. And on the end of my logs, okay, so this log, say I see this end of it, right? I'm just going to put a little swirly swirl. You guys see that? Let me move the camera closer here for you. I just put a little swirly swirl on the end of that log there, see? So I just grabbed some white paint and a little bit of that brown. And I just put a little swirly swirl. And let's say I could see the edge of this log, right? So I'm just going to grab that white paint, put a little swirly swirl. All right? And that is how, and then this log, his little swirly swirl is going to be in there, okay? So the only thing you want to remember is round your edges, right? Round these edges. And then you can put a little swirly swirl on the other end because you're going to see the end of the log there. And all I did was grab some white paint and swirl it around. That's all I did. All right? And then if you want to get really, really fancy with your fire logs, you can grab your, hey, Michelle, you can grab your black paint and you can put in all these little details in there just by using my small brush, doing arching lines like this. I'm doing arching lines like that. And you can add in all these little crevices and pieces into your bark like that. See that? Right? And I'm going to put extra here because that log's laying on top, so it's going to be nice and dark under there. And put that. And then we have this guy right here. So I'm going to put extra dark right under here, right under there. And then I'm just going to do those swirls. And then over here, we don't see this guy. He's just kind of like buried under everybody. So we're just going to dab, 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 right? Just putting him in an arching motion. Just like that, you got logs. Aw, thank you so much, Kim. I really appreciate that. Thank you. So just like that, nice and easy peasy, right? You have logs to a campfire. Nothing hard there, right? Really nothing too hard, nothing too fancy. And if you want to take that black paint, just like where you put your little dashes and lines and fun stuff on here, those little swirls that you made, you can put them in there too. You can put some black in there too if you want to. Just like that. And I'm just doing curved lines. Just curves, you know, because everything's round. Logs are round. So if logs are round, you make your lines round. That's just all you got to do, right? Logs are round, you make your lines round. And if you're ever drawing anything round, your lines have to be round too. End of story. Unless it's a cone. If it's a cone, obviously it has straight sides. But we did all that in the 3D how-to. So we took care of all that in the 3D how-to. So I'll give you a second there to draw your logs if you're practicing along with me. You know, and if you did your forest, I know I did that really fast, so you can catch up with that too. Catch up mustard. And we'll take it from there. I have lots of creepers tonight. I see lots of numbers, but I don't see lots of names. But I want to say a special hello to Judy and Lisa and Joy and Jackie and Kim and Michelle. And another Kim's in there. So we got a couple of Kims. We got a couple of Michelles. It's awesome. Some of you are going to watch the replay, which is awesome. So all of that is really good stuff. And I really hope that these how-tos help you out. I am a self-taught painter, so this is how I do it. And it seems to work okay for me so far, so figured I'll show you guys what's up. And then you can use all of these things in your actual paintings when you're doing your paint party paintings or whatever you happen to be doing. Hello, everybody. So if you're doing the woman behind the camera, like Wizard of Oz, right? If you're doing your paint party paintings or whatever you happen to be painting for yourself, you can incorporate some of these ideas. So, All right, so this is nope, not dry yet. That's what I'm really waiting for here. That's why I'm babbling along. I'm waiting for that to dry. So while we're waiting for that to dry and our logs to dry, I'm going to turn around and make a candle. Ooh, hey, there's another Melissa on board. Hey, Melissa, I think we're up to a couple Michelle's, a couple Melissas. How you doing, sweetheart? Welcome to the fam. Welcome to the fam. So let's do a candle while we're waiting for all that to dry. So for my candle, right, I'm going to turn around and just make a really pretty, let's make a really pretty, like beige colored candle, right? Hey, Diane, how you doing, sweetheart? New Hampshire in the house. How you doing, love? All right, so we're just going to make a, so I have that brown there, right? So I'm going to grab my white. I'm going to grab a lot of white. Hey, Sharon from Wisconsin's out there. Doreen's out there. Hi, everybody. Hello. Hello, all the creepers are coming out. I call everybody creepers. That's what I do, because you're all just hanging out and watching. It's all good. It's all good. One of my favorite things to do is roll call, though. I love doing roll call. Hey, Doreen. Hey, Sharon. Melissa's doing great. Awesome. Awesome. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. And there's a lot of new names out here. So welcome to the fam, everybody. Welcome to the fam. We're just one big happy family at this venue here. This venue. So I'm going to grab a lot of that extra white. I'm going to grab a lot of white. And I'm going to grab that brown that I made. Tanya's a creeper. She's the best creeper. Hi, Tanya. Hey, Jeanette. Jeanette from Saskatchewan, Canada in the house. Oh, yeah. We're international, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Hi, guys. Hi, guys. So Tanya's a creeper. She came for it. Hey, Jeanette. Jeanette from Saskatchewan. I love it. Tori from Ontario. Hello, guys. Hello, everybody. Rachel from West Virginia is here. Hi. How you doing, sweetheart? How you doing? So I write all of this down because I can't remember anything. I write all of it down. And then I do a roll call with you guys to make sure you're all still awake with me. Make sure you're still awake. Okay, so I grabbed that white and I grabbed that brown. It's all on my handy dandy big boy brush here, my 1-inch brush. And let's just throw a candle in real quick. So again, a round object, right? So we're going to do round lines. We're just going to swoop these in. Nova Scotia, Tracy in the house, right? So I'm just going to put 2 lines straight down. And then I'm just going to swoop. Swoop, swoop, swoop. It's all about the swoop, guys. All about the swoop. I'm just going to swoop these rounded lines in. That's what I'm going to do. Just like that. And easy peasy, you guys have yourself a candlestick. A candlestick. That's what you have, just like that. Rachel's here. Hi, Rachel. Rachel, you're under Kim's name. Hey, Tracy. Hey, Rachel saying hi. Rachel knows Kim. See, I'm telling you, we're all big one happy family here. And we got Tracy from Nova Scotia. Hello. Patricia's here. Hello, Patricia. That's my mom's name, Patricia. That is my mom's name. So, now that we have our candle in here, right? So, on top, what I'm going to do on top is I'm going to just grab some, it really doesn't matter what you do up here because we're going to change it later. So, I am just going to grab some of that, a little bit more brown, and I'm going to turn around and just put a top in here. And I'm just grabbing a little, so I'm doing a round edge that way. And I'm just grabbing a little bit more brown. So honestly, I'm grabbing a little bit more brown so you can see it better. That's why I grabbed more brown. Right? So I'm just putting the top on there, which is a rounded edge that way. That's all it is to it. And obviously, I didn't draw on my lines. I never draw on my lines. So I have to make that a little bit thicker. I have to make that a little bit thicker because the edge of my top circle went over the edge of the candle. But we don't stress about things like that. We can just pop in a new sideline and keep it nice and easy peasy, right? No mistakes in art. That's what Bob Ross said. That's what Bob Ross said. No mistakes in art. Okay, so I'm going to swirl tap dab that brush. We're going to go back to our forest. And like I said, it's all about the glow, baby. It's all about the glow. So you want to turn around, and obviously a glow from a fire is going to be yellow and red and oranges and all that kind of thing. The thing is, though, is I use blue. I use blue in my night sky. So if I put yellow right on top of that, I'm going to get green. So when you do your yellow, you actually want to grab the smallest amount of white with it, because you don't want to grab a lot of white because that's going to cover everything. So you just want to grab the smallest amount of white with it. And I'm going to grab a whole bunch of yellow, right? A whole bunch. And the only reason I grab the white is so that when the yellow hits the blue, it doesn't make it a green, green, green color. All right? So if this is all on fire, right, it's going to make a glow. And you very lightly, right, lightly. You see how I'm getting that differentiation? That's a big word for you, right? Differentiation of lines right there. So very lightly. You just want the paint on the tip of your brush. I'm using the 1-inch flat again, my big boy. I like to call him Big Boy. And very lightly, very little amount of paint, and very lightly, I'm just going to put this in. And just adding that little bit of white to that yellow makes it so it doesn't turn green on you when it hits the blue paint. Okay, guys? So I'm just putting that in right above that tree line right there. Right above that tree line. That's what I'm doing. Okay? So very lightly, very small amount of paint. If you notice, I didn't even grab any more paint. And I'm just going to take what's left on my brush. I'm going to pull it to the tip. I'm going to grab that again. So that's what's left on my brush. I'm not grabbing anything new. I'm just grabbing what's left on the brush. And I just pulled it to the tip. And you can make this as high as you want, as low as you want. You know, it's all up to you, whatever you want to do. But it's very light, and it's a small amount of paint. So we're just going to put that in there. Okay, so now, next thing you want to do is I'm going to swirl tap dab my brush, and I'm going to grab just red. Now the red, with the paint that I'm using, and this is why you want to use like actual acrylic paints. If you're doing this with the craft paints, you might have to water them down because craft paints go on very opaque. So if you guys are buying those little tubes that are like $2 of like those craft paints that you see out there, I know a lot of you like to work with those. If you're grabbing those, that paint goes on very opaque. Like, and by opaque, I mean it goes on to where you can't see through it. And when you use like actual acrylic, Liquitex, or Blick, or, you know, Golden, or they have the, I don't know, artistic impression, whatever. But it's all like actual acrylic artist paint, not craft paint. I know it's all acrylic, but craft paint is what they call it. And those little tiny little tubes you guys like to get, it's different. It's different. It goes on very, like, so you can't see through it. So if you're using that, you might want to add a little bit of water. All right, so all I'm going to do is grab my red paint now. And I don't have to mix it with anything because red on blue makes cool purple. So let's go for it, right? And where those trees were, not a lot of paint at all. I am just going to brush over where those trees were. And add this into my yellow. And you can actually see through to where you still see those trees through the paint. Okay? And that's the point. You want to see those trees through the paint. And when I add this up into my yellow, you can see I have spots where it went on pretty thick, and then I have spots where it's not so thick. And where it's not so thick, you're going to get that really awesome orange. You see that? It's so cool. I love that. I love doing this. This is so much fun. This, like, I just love how it makes that color, and I didn't have to do any work at all. I didn't have to do any work at all. So, and I didn't want to do the yellow through the trees because I didn't want to add the white and wind up losing my shadow of trees in the background. So you're going to do the red first. You're going to do the red first. So you want this to be very thin and very light. And you're just going over what you did, and wow, like, look at that. Isn't that awesome? Like, if you're practicing at home right now, I hope you're like, oh, that's so cool, because it really is. It really is how when it hits that yellow paint, it just makes this cool, glow, orangey thing happen. I don't know. It's just like painting magic. It's painting magic to me. That's what it is. So I am just spreading this really, really, really thin across the whole thing. And I put a little too much there, if you could see. So I'm just going to keep brushing over it to thin it out. Alright, and then once you add the red, now you could turn around and grab just yellow. Just yellow. And I could put the just yellow on top of the red. And then this way I don't lose that shadow of trees in the background, but I get the orange glows in here too. I get the orange glows in there too. See? So when you have your shapes in the background, and if it's on a dark background, and definitely if you use blue, you want to turn around and you do the red first, then the yellow. And you got to make sure your paint's very thin. And then so on top I did it opposite, right? I did the yellow with a little bit of white, and then I put the red over it. And down here I'm doing the red first, and then I'm just putting the yellow over it. No white necessary. We're doing fire tonight, Theodora. We're making fire. Fire, 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 fire. So we're just, this is a practice session and we're painting fire. So right now I'm doing a forest. I put in a black and blue background, and I put in all these lines of some trees that are back in there. And we did the glow on top and the glow in between the trees, because honestly, guys, fire is all about the trees. Tanya, I would recommend Liquitex stays pretty affordable at student grade. I would recommend Acrylic. That's what I use. That's what's in my painting kits. I'll show you the bottle. In my painting kits is the exact paint I use, which is this paint. You got it. Hot stuff going on. So this is, I know the letters are backwards, but that's what it is. I know the letters are backwards and mirrored on my thing. So this is called Acrylic, and this is the student grade. So anything you guys buy, especially if you're just learning, don't buy the heavy body stuff. The heavy body is a whole other animal. Don't buy those. Buy the student grades. And if you buy the student grades, it could remain pretty affordable for you. Okay? Hot stuff going on tonight. So once I put that in, I want to put some of my trees back in. So I didn't clean off my brush or anything, because black kind of turns around and takes that all out. And I'm just going to put some of my trees back in. So I'm just doing little dashes, and we're going to put some trees back in the front here. And I'm just doing little dashes across. And you can see the shadows of the lines that I did before, so that's really cool. And I'm going to grab that brown with the black too. I'm just going to grab that brown with the black. I'll put some of those in here too. We're just going to put some of those in here. Okay. So, there we have it. So, now we got this little forest fire going on. Poor little Bambi. Little Bambi, right? Bambi had to deal with a forest fire, right? Hopefully we don't have to see any, but painting one's pretty cool. And then I'm just going to turn around with those lines, and I'm going to pull up that line, and I'm just going to squiggle off of it and make some branches coming out. So I'm going to pull up off of that line that I made, and I'm just going to make some branches coming out like that, right? And we're just going to do little Y trees, you know, like those trees you made in like when you were 3. We're just going to do little Y trees like that, you know, nothing fancy, because we're going to put flames coming off of them. That's right, flames, baby. We're going to put flames. So I am just pulling up off of those lines that I made. That's all I'm doing. And I still have some paint on my brush. Not too much paint. Very light paint with this whole process. Not a lot at all. Not a lot at all. So, Tanya, I hope I answered your question for you. And that's what I would recommend, especially when you're just starting out. If you guys are really just starting out and you don't have like anything, I do have a kit on the event page. You'd see the kit. That is for sale. It's the exact brushes I use for every party. It's a bunch of paint, like a load of paint. And it's the paint I just showed you. And you get a palette and easel, canvases, all sorts of goodies are in that thing. So if you're interested, you can see the info on the event pages. All my event pages, I put the info. Thank you so much, Lisa. All right, so we got all these little Y trees here. I'm getting a little happy, so I'm going to stop doing those. Clean off my hand. I got red, I got yellow, I got everything going on here. So what we're going to do is now we're going to actually add fire. All right, we're going to add fire. Fire, 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 fire. So I'm going to take my mini-me, which I use for the paint parties. He is a, it's covered with paint. He is a number 4 shader. That's what they call him. See how tiny he is? He's really small. But he has a nice square edge, and I like that. He has like a nice flat edge to him. So I'm going to take him, and I'm going to go up in here, and I'm going to grab just white paint. Just white. All right? And now I'm going to add my fire pieces. So I'm going to turn around, and down in here, right, I'm going to turn around, and we're just going to put little squiggles like that. I'm going to put little squiggles in. Okay? And no rhyme or reason, just little squiggles, and here and there, not everywhere, right? So you can put it going up the side of a tree maybe that you painted. You're going to put it down in the brush here, right? Because the brush, you know, if it's a brush fire, all this is going to have flames coming off of it. Okay? And I'm just using white paint, and I'm just doing little squiggles. That's all I'm doing. We're squiggling, people. Very technical, right? Very, very technical. We're squiggling. Okay? And fire jumps, right? So you can do these squiggles, and then you could turn around and do like a pop, pop off of that, right? Because it jumps around, and it plays, and it dances. You know, it is quite mesmerizing. That's one of my favorite things, is having like a campfire when I'm camping. When I'm camping, and then you can, you know, you just kind of sit there and relax and watch the flames dance. It's really quite interesting to me. I don't know. I like it. I don't know if that makes me weird, but I enjoy it. And so I'm just doing these little squiggles here, there, not everywhere. I'm going to pop one right off the top of a tree, like that's going right into the sky. All right. And I'm going to pop a couple over here, and you just make it dance. Make it dance, have fun with it, just doing little squiggles, little lines. Nothing too nutty here. Nothing too nutty. All right, guys? So that's what you do. That's what you do, just like that. And just using the white paint. Just using the white paint. That's all I'm doing. All right? So, this is a lot of fun, and you know, you can make your world any way you want. So we're going to let that dry. It's very hypnotizing. Good word, Kim. Yes, absolutely. Kim, ding, 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 ding. Kim gets the word of the day. Hypnotizing. Yes, it is. So we're going to let that dry, and while that white's drying, let's go down to our campfire that we got going on here. Remember our logs that we made? Alright, so the first thing I want to do, like I said, it's all about the glow, baby. It's all about the glow. And what I want to do, actually, is, right? So awesome. So, if this is a campfire, right, obviously you're going to have grass around it. You're going to have trees around it. You know, maybe the tent, whatever. So, like, say if you had a tree next to this. We're just going to do a, say if you had, so I can show you something. So, I'm just going to drop in like a tree on here because I want to show you something, okay? So, just like that. And you want to turn around. I'm swirl tap dabbing my brush again. And a glow around the flame, we're going to definitely see it with the candle. It's kind of circular. All right, so I'm grabbing my, since it's just white, I'm going to grab just my yellow. And I'm going to turn around. I still have brown in my brush. That's why it's making this icky color. I didn't clean it very well. I didn't clean my brush very well, so it's this icky, we got icky yellow going on, but that's okay. That's okay. Icky yellow's all right. It's all good. It's all good. So you kind of want to do like a circular glow. And then I'm going to go right over my logs with this. I'm going to go right over my logs with this. It's all good. As you paint over your logs, you can simply just take your finger and wipe it off. Swoop. Just like that. Right? Nothing tricky there. Now you know why I get all messy, right? So I'm going to dab off that paint. I'm actually going to give a better swirl. Oh, sure. Sure, hon, Melissa, sure. Yep, just yellow, because I'm on a white background for the campfire. So just yellow. If you have that blue background, Lisa, then you want to add that tiny bit of white. You want to add that tiny bit of white. So we're popping up to the forest fire again, because somebody asked to see my brush strokes. Honestly, they're just dancing. There's just wiggles. That's all I did. All I did was wiggles. Somebody asked to see the, you know, and so you can use your pointer brush. You can use, so all this is just wiggles. That's all it is, like that. All right, Lisa. So it's just wiggles like that. That's all they are. It's just little squiggles. All right, Lisa. So that's what's for the forest fire. That's all that is, okay? It's just little squiggles going on. All right, and I could actually, you guys can look at that, and I can still show you the forest fire in the same. All right, so just white, just yellow, hon. And then I'm going to grab a different brush because Big Boy's like really dirty right now, and I don't feel like cleaning them. That's one good thing about having 101 brushes. And this is definitely an old brush. Look, I'm holding it together with tape. And everything else. And this is a three-quarter flat brush. You're welcome, Melissa, but it's well loved because he's all puffy. He's taped together. He's all like all this fun stuff. But that's what happens with your brushes after a while. They get to be well loved. All right, so I'm going to grab Just Red, and the same thing's going to happen when I grab the Just Red. Very little paint. Very little paint. And you just want to go over your glow. And I'm going to grab some yellow with that red. So I get that warm orange color. Okay, so I'm grabbing yellow with that red. I have yellow and red on this well-loved brush that I have here. So you get that nice warm orange color. And I'm going to go right into my logs. And like I said, you just wipe them off. It's okay. It's all right. It's all good. Okay. And what I wanted to show you, you're welcome, sweetie. What I wanted to show you is that I threw this tree in there because when you have the fire and this is your light source. Remember when I did the 3D shapes and I said, you know, you have your light sources? So when I say a fluffy brush, so when I use fluffy in my paint parties, these are my fluffies. So Kim just asked when I use a fluffy brush, what can you do instead? Because she doesn't have an old beat up brush. Well, beat one of your brushes up, girl. Bow, 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 beat them up now. This is a number 4 flat from Princeton Brush Company, but the thing is that this is made, this is like, I think it's like pig hair or something. It's very stiff bristles. So you want something that is very, you get all these in my kit too. Anyway, so these are very stiff bristles. And what happens is that they wind up fluffing out. And what could you use instead? You can use a Q-tip. Hog. Thank you, Lisa. You got it, girlfriend. So hog hair or synthetic hog hair, what could you use instead? You could use a Q-tip for a fluffy. That would kind of do it for you. If you have an old makeup brush, say you have an old like blusher, like one of those blusher brushes, that would work as long as it's something stiff, because you want this to be able to push. You want it to be able to push. So if, you know, if you're pushing and your brush is just going bleh because it's new and it's soft, so you want it to be something that is stiff. So I would say like Q-tips could work. If you get yourself a synthetic hog brush, that would work. An old makeup brush would work. Anything along those lines. And if you got all these new brushes and they're all like big boy and they're all very, very soft, you have to, they're a little bit trickier. So that would be my suggestions for that. All right. So what I wanted to show you, now the paint dried on my brush. The paint dried on my brush, people. So what I wanted to show you is like, so if this light from the campfire is hitting the tree, I'm going to grab a little bit of white with my dirty old brush here. I'm going to grab a little bit. You're welcome, sweetie. And I'm going to turn around and, put some swipes of white on the side of this tree here. Okay? I'll put some swipes of white on the side of that tree. And then I'll let that dry a minute. So we're going to do the flames in our fire. Again, I'm grabbing just white paint because I want to show you this most amazing trick ever. It's so much fun. I'm going to show you with the forest fire since it's almost dry. But this is like, it's like the best thing ever. I like doing these. So I'm going to grab just my white paint. I'm back to using Mini-Me, the number 4, whatever that means. I don't know what the numbers mean. Shader. Right? Because it's funny, they have numbers on brushes and then every company uses numbers for a different reason. So I know the smaller the number, the smaller the brush. That's pretty much across the board. Ooh, a butter brush. Very good, Michelle. That would definitely work. Oh, you're thinking on your feet today, girl. Yeah, that would definitely work. So with my flames in here, right, what we're going to do is I'm going to go right from the center here, and I'm going to do a squiggle. We're going to wrap that up like that. Okay, and I'm not going to worry about my log right now because we'll go back in and fix that up. And then, like, what I like to do lots of times is I like to do, like, a twisteroo. Like that, because flames like curl around, and I think that's so cool. So I do like a little twisteroo there. And they're like wider on the bottom, so they're going to be like wider up down here, and then you get it thinner as you work your flame up, okay? And then another thing they do is they wrap around objects. So I'm going to do a flame like coming out from the side of this log here, right? And then I'm going to turn around and have it like follow the shape of the log, like it's wrapping around it, and then pull it up. Okay, because they like wrap around, like the flames like wrap around objects. I think it's so cool. So we're going to do it wrapping around that log and then coming up like that. So you're going to have a lot of fun with flames in a fire. Yeah, some say 3/4. That one I just had said 3/4. What 3/4 means is it's 3/4 of an inch. So if you're looking at flat brushes, like Big Boy is a 1-inch flat, right? That's another thing. I don't want to sound like an infomercial, but that's why I put the kits together, because I figured getting brushes would be so confusing to people. So Big Boy is a 1-inch flat. So when it says 3/4, it means 3/4 of an inch. And when it says half, that means a 1/2-inch brush. Like, that's what all that means. So you guys can have a ton of fun making your flames. There's, you know, like, just do little, like, squiggly marks coming out. And if you want to curl some of them, they're just a little thicker on the bottom. And then you want to, you know, come out from the other side of your log over here. And you can do a flame coming out from the other side of your log right there. You know, you can do a little curly Q. I like doing a little curly Q. That's just my thing. So, do the little curly Q on that. Alright. And we'll come over here and we'll do like one that maybe you see it on the bottom of the log. You see like a piece of flame right there. But then, oh, it's coming out from this side. It's coming out from that side, right? So you can do something like that. And then with the white on my brush, I'm going to go down here and I'm going to grab some black paint with the white and I'm going to make my coal bed. So with your coals, you're just going to do like black and white, and you just make a bed of coals right here. Black and white. Alright, so I got some black on my brush, I got some white, and I'm just dabbing. So all I'm doing is dabbing. Dab, 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 dab with my little brush here. And I'm going to make my bed of coals. Okay, I'm just making my bed of coals, just grabbing some black, grabbing some white, having that on my brush, and just doing little dabs. That's all I'm doing. Yeah, buying brushes can get kind of confusing, especially like when you don't know anything about it. So, you know, that's like anything in life, right? You have to learn. It's definitely learning curves. So, we're going to do our bed of coals right there. Alrighty. So, we're going to let all that dry. Alright. And we'll get back to that. So, back to our forest fire. You guys ready for this? Alright. So, I'm gonna jump over to my sink real quick, let you guys catch up on your campfire there, and I'm gonna run some water through my big boy here. So, because I don't feel like swirling them to get them clean. That's one good thing I like about being in my kitchen, because I can turn around and use the sink. So I'm gonna go to my forest fire here, and now watch. I'm gonna grab that yellow, and I'm going to grab that red like we used before, a little bit of yellow, a little bit of red, right, because it makes a really cool orange. And where all that white was, you're going to paint over it. And when you paint over it, it turns all the flames into colors. Again, very little paint. Very little paint. So when you paint over this, with very little paint, you get more of a glow, and all of those little white little squiggles you did, it puts all colors on them. It puts all the flame colors onto it. So it's a nifty little trick. It's easy peasy lemon squeezy, and you can totally have the look of a forest fire. And just throwing those colors over the top of it, right? So cool. Turns around and puts the flame colors in the white. And then I'm just going to grab my black and brown paint again. And I'm just going to put in some of these tree limbs again. So I'm just going to grab my black paint. It's so cool, right, Amy? Right, Amy? So cool. Coolest thing ever. Now, if you're anything like Lisa, yes, you can go back and you can grab some yellows and you can grab some reds and you can go back in and really add all the different colors to them if you want to. If you want to. So I'm just going to go back in and darken some of my trees again. Darken some of my trees again. And just like that, right? So cool. And just like that, guys, you have a forest fire. Just like that. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So, I think that's so much fun. So amazing. So easy to do. And, you guys can totally rock that. And it's the coolest trick ever. Now, can you go back in and add the particular colors to all your flames? Yeah, you can. I'm not all about that. I'm going to do it with these in the campfire, but I'm not going to do it for the forest fire. So, I think that's so cool. So, now you guys can totally do a fire in the woods. A sort of forest fire kind of thing going on. It's very, like I said, you're just going to add your background colors. It's always a little bit, let's go over this, right? Little bit of paint, right? If you're painting on top of blue, you have to add white to the yellow. Okay? And it's very small amounts of paint, and you're lightly brushing it on. Because like I said, it's all about the glow, people. It is all about the glow. And you could go in and add your trees in better too. You know, I did a video on trees, so I'm not going to spend tonight painting in trees for you. So that's like the coolest trick ever. Blue flames, you want to add blue flames? We could totally add blue flames. And Melissa, if you're using the craft paints, just add a little bit of water to them. You just want to make sure they're thin. So what you want to do is add, not a lot, just a little bit, and thin it out a little bit. And, you know, do a little practice, do a little test. Like if you turn around and you paint with your, if you paint with your brush, if you're using the craft paints, you got to do a little test. So you could add a little bit of water to your paint, and then, you know, just on a piece of paper, go like this. If you can't see through it yet, dip your brush in water and then do it again. You know what I mean? You just want to make sure that you can see through it. See? Just like that. So I put my paint on my canvas. I couldn't see through it. And then I dipped my brush in some water, and now I can see through it. So as long as you can see through it a little bit, it'll totally work. It'll totally work. And Aaliyah wants to know, can I add some blue flames to this? Aaliyah just wants to make this totally awesome. Yes, we can add some blue flames, right? So the blue flames, you're going to turn around and you're going to do your white paint again. Let's add some blue ones in there, right? That stuff's the cool part. You're welcome. So, if you want to add some blue flames to this, you're going to go back in with your white. Right? Put your squiggles in. Put your squiggles in. Okay? Alright, so we're just going to put some squiggles in here. Because blue flames only show up every once in a while. It's so funny, right? Because the blue shows up when it's actually crazy wicked hot. You know? And, you know, everybody says like red hot, but it's actually blue hot. If you think about it. If you think about it, it's actually blue hot. Because the blue ones show up. So I'm just going to turn around and put those white squiggles back in. Alright. That's it. And we got to wait for those to dry. So we're going to go back to our campfire. Now the campfire, you can do the exact same trick. You can just paint right over this white. And you'll do this exact same trick. But for my friends like Lisa and all of those people out there that are very like, want to turn around and have control over what's going on. Alright, first thing I want you to do is I want you to, in your coal bed, you want to put little dots of white in your coal bed. Okay, here, there, not everywhere. Little dots of white in there. Okay? So you definitely have to get those in there. So you definitely have to get those in there. And then what you want to turn around for your flame colors is, if you're doing it putting the colors, painting the colors onto your flame, okay, I kind of do it like ombre. So I'm going to start with my red. I'm going to start with my red. I have my small brush here. This is the brush I use during the paint parties. Use a #1 round, right, very tiny brush. And I'm going to turn around and put my red paint in. Okay, so there's my red paint, and it's looking a little pink with the background. Remember I said you need 2 coats. You need 2 coats. It's all good. It's all good, guys. I got you. I got you with the blue flames, absolutely, right? So we're going to turn around and put that red there. And then I'm going to dip my brush right in the yellow. And I'm going to put the yellow on here, and when the red and the yellow meet, I just do like a zigzag between the two, just like that. And then I'm going to pull my yellow through the rest of the flame. Okay? And I'll pull my yellow through the rest of the flame. And I had a little too much red on my brush, so that's why the top of this didn't come out as yellow as I wanted it to. So all I did was grab a little bit of white and yellow together, and I fixed that. Alright, so we got to leave that alone until we do the second coat. Alright? And what I wanted to show you is, so when you have a tree or an objects near your campfire, they have to have the fire glow on them. So that's why I did the white on the tree. And that same trick with the yellow and the red. Right? Same trick with the yellow and the red. Now you can go right over this white and add the glow onto the tree. Okay, guys? So if you are doing a campfire scene and you have objects in your scene, put some white paint on them, and then you do the yellow and red trick to add the glow to those objects that are next to your fire. And, you know, you could do the trick with these flames too. Same trick. You can do the trick with these flames if you want to do the trick instead of painting each one. But I'm going to show you how to paint them. That's fine. I don't mind. But you can do the same trick. Oh, my white coals were still wet. I just smushed them all. Whoops. Getting a little excited. Getting a little excited, Eve. Getting a little excited. Let's put those back in there. I just mushed them all out because I put the brush over it and they weren't dry yet. So let's fix that. Let's put that back to the way I wanted it. Right? These things happen. We don't care about these things. It's all good. It's all good. So I need my flames. Right? So let's do a couple flames in our fires. I'll show you a couple times. So I'm going to grab my red paint. I'm going to start at the bottom of the flame. I'm going to start at the bottom of the flame here. Okay? Just like that, adding the red paint. And then I'm going to grab a little bit of white and a little bit of yellow. And where the two connect, you just kind of zigzag a little bit between the two. You just zigzag between the two. That's all you need to do. Okay? Just zigzag between the two colors. And I'm going to grab a little more white and a little more yellow. And on the top part here, I'm going to put in, ba-bam, the nice bright yellow spot. Just like that. Okay? So, now, we've been ignoring our candle. So what are we going to do with the candle, guys? Somebody tell me, what's the first thing I'm going to put around this candle? You guys know. What's the first thing I put around the forest? What's the first thing I put around the campfire? What did I paint first? Come on, somebody hit me with it. You're all watching out there. Let's do roll call, right? We got Judy, Lisa, Joy, Jackie, Kim. She's new to the fam. Michelle, Melissa, Diane's out there. Doreen, Sharon, Tanya was a creeper. Jeanette, Tori, Rachel, Tracy, and Patricia in the house. Who's going to get it? Brrr. Kim. Good job, Kim. The glow. Very good, Sharon. All right, Theodora. You guys got this. The glow. Rachel's on point. Yep, yellow. We're going to use yellow for the glow. You got it, girlfriend. So you guys know what the deal is, right? First thing I'm going to put is the glow. That's what we're going to put. And Rachel already said it, right? What are we going to use for the glow? Yep, the background, Jeanette. You got it. Penny said white. So white, if you're doing your glow on a background that's a dark background, you want to definitely grab the white. Rachel's on point saying the yellow. And Jeanette's on point with the background. And all of my other fam members out there said the glow. You got that right. You guys are on point. All right. So we're going to put the glow. And you want to put your glow in a circular motion. So just like what everybody said. Now, if I had a dark background back here, this brush wants to stay icky tonight, and I don't know why. I don't know why it wants to stay icky. Maybe because my water's icky. Yeah, Eve, maybe if you put clean water, you get a clean brush. How about that, Eve? How about we try that one? What do you guys think? You think if I use clean water, I'd get a clean brush? Probably. Let's switch that out. Oh, goodness gracious. All right. We now have some clean water. Clean water. So we should get a clean brush. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I'm telling you, sometimes Keep it simple, Eve. Keep it simple. All right, so I'm going to swirl tap dab my brush. It's worth a try, right, Aaliyah? It's worth a try. I am not alone, right, Laura? You've done the dirty water oops lots of times. How about the dipping it in your drink oops? I've done that too, where I've cleaned my brush and my drink. Yep, might help to have clean water. That's right, Theodora. All right, so just like everybody said, I'm going to grab some yellow here. I'm going to grab some of my yellow and right around my candle here. Now that we have a nice clean brush, you want to do your glow. All right. So if you notice, I'm going around my candle, and I'm going around my candle for a reason. All right, I'm going around the candle for a reason. Because when you do the glow in the candle, you want to keep the shape of the candle. Okay, so that's why I'm going around it, because I don't want you to get like easy peasy here and get a little too lazy. Okay, so we're going to do a glow around the candle. Lori's got a system. Lori's got the system. She has the drink to the right and the water to the left. I like it. I like it a lot. All right, then I'm going to grab my red and yellow together. And I'm going to come out here and add that lovely. So with those two, I know everybody says they have problem blending. Blending is not as hard as you think, guys. So you just want to go a little into the color that's already painted and work your way out to the new canvas. A little into the color that's already painted and then work your way out into the new canvas. And that is how you blend. Okay? And you just go over that, and you can go over this like this. Once you do a little bit in and a little bit out, you can just brush over it with like a brush that has hardly any paint left. And you just soften the two together. That's how you blend, guys. Okay? Don't overthink the whole blending thing. Don't overthink the whole blending thing, all right? And then you could actually grab the original color again if you want. Go back up into the other color. So blending, just have fun. Just have fun practicing blending two colors together. Okay, so like I said, you just go a little bit into the color that's already there and then out onto the new canvas area. That's all you need to do. Okay, it's all you need to do. All right, now, in the candle, this is going to glow because the top of a candle glows, okay? So I'm going to grab that white paint, since this is a darker candle here, and I'm going to grab my yellow, right? So this says white and yellow on there, and on the top of this candle, we're going to swoop it in. We're going to swoop it in like this. Swoop it in, okay? So this is why I didn't have you swoop it in. So swoop, nice arch thing. This is why I didn't have you do the glow over it, because you might turn around and get lazy and not follow the shape of the candle. Okay, so you swoop that in, and you want to get this top part right here. So I'm just doing a little zigzag with my brush to do the top part right there, okay? And then I'm going to wipe my brush off. And I'm going to grab the red paint. And then I'm going to swoop that in. Okay, a little into my color. Nice light strokes. I'm barely touching this. Nice light strokes. So I'm going to swoop it into the yellow. And then I'm going to pull it out onto the rest. That's how you blend. A little into the color you already painted. And then out onto the new area. Okay, so now I made this glowing part for the top of the candle a little long. I don't think it would be this long on a candle, but you guys get the general idea. All right, and then I'm going to put a little bit of this in this top part. Okay, just like that. All right. So the reason I didn't do the trick of doing the glow all the way around is because I wanted to make sure you followed the shape of the candle. All right, so we're going to put our white flame, right? You guys knew that. You knew that was next, right? You knew that was next. We're going to put our white flame in here. And what's that? That's a teardrop, right? So much fun. So we're going to put our little white flame on there. And you guys knew I was going to grab the white paint. Come on, you knew that. I knew you knew that. And if you didn't know that, you know that now. You know that now. So, now, you can leave this just like this if you want to. You know, you don't have to paint the rest of the flame in there. It's up to you. And I always like, you know me, I like my squiggle. So I'm going to put the squiggle in there. Do you have to do the squiggle? No, that's just my thing. And you want to grab a little bit of black paint. Tiniest amount of black paint on here. And I'm just going to draw the wick in. Alright, just going to draw the wick in. Alright, so, while that's drawing, fire, 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 fire. We're on fire tonight, people. I'm going to go back to my forest here and put those blue flames in that somebody asked for. Because, you know, the red, we got to go with the blue. I'm trying to move my camera closer. Alright, there we go. Now that's working. Alright, so I'm going to put those blue flames in. Alright, so we have the white paint on there. I'm going to swirl tap dab my brush. I'm going to go right back into that tiny brush. And I want to grab my blue paint. Oh, wow, look at that. How did I just cleaned this brush off. How did I get this big glob of yellow on it? I have no idea. Oh, because it's on my paper towel. There you go. See, that's why it's smart to always look at your brush before you paint with it. Look at your brush before you paint with it. All right, now he's nice and clean. All right, so grabbing that blue, and I want to grab a little bit of the white. Grabbing that blue and a little bit of the white. Hey, Nancy, how you doing, love? And I want to go back into these flames in here. And we're just going to follow the squiggles that we did before. We're just going to follow the squiggles that we did before and add the blue. Now, am I following them like on point, like making sure every single dash and line, I'm filling it all in? No, I'm not. I'm telling you right now, I'm not. I am just smushing it on there, and I am trying to grab where I put the white before. All right, and then once I put that in, I want to grab just the white, and I want to whiten out the tips of these. I want to whiten out the tips of these, okay? I'm just going to whiten them out a little bit. And that's why I wasn't being too concerned about making sure I covered all the white. So we're going to whiten out the tips of these blue flames. Alright? Maybe add a couple more white squiggles. Now I'm going to clean off my brush, and I'm going to grab just the blue. Just the blue. And I'm going to pop in some really dark blue spots. Okay, because that's where it's really, really hot. Alright, and I'm just squiggling. Thanks, Aaliyah. I'm just squiggling. That's all I'm doing. If you notice my brush, I'm squiggling like this. That's all I'm doing. I'm just putting little squiggles in. We're squiggling away. Nothing too hard here. So I just want to put the really dark blue, like down towards the ground. Because that's where it's going to be like super hot, right? And there's your blue flames, guys. So there's your blue flames in your forest fire. Okay? And you can put your blue flames in your campfire if you want to. You can do the same exact thing with some blue flames. So blue flames is pretty much just white tips. So I do a light blue first, and then I go back in, do my white tips on there, and then I do my dark blue. So that's a blue flame for you guys. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Alright, so 6,000%. Let's go back to our campfire. So we put that first coat on of red and yellow, right? So we're going to put the next coat on. So I'm going to go back into my red. Go back to my flame and put my red on there, right? Because you need two coats, guys. You need two coats with some of this paint. So I'm putting the red back on there. See that? And then I'm going to grab that yellow. And I'm going to grab a little bit of white with that so you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm going to curl that around from the top and go towards my red. And then where the two meet, you just do a little back and forth movement there. That's all you do is a little back and forth movement. That's it. That's where the two meet. That's how you connect the two colors in your flame. You just do a little back and forth with it. That's all you need to do. Just a little back and forth. All right. So let's do the other one, right? So I'll wipe off my brush. I'm going to grab my red paint. I'm going to come over here and do the wraparound one that we have going here, right? So I'm going to fill that back in with red. I'm just going to do the bottom of the flame. The bottom of the flame there. I'll wipe my brush off, give it a little swirl tap dab, get the red paint out of it. I'm going to grab my yellow and a little bit of white. I'm going to come down from the tip towards that red. And then when I hit the red, I'm just going to do a back and forth like that. And that's going to ombre it out. That's going to ombre it out just like that, okay? And that's how you get your flames to have that ombre red and yellow look. With the orange going in there. So you can have a lot of fun with these flames. And then if I painted all the flames, sure, Melissa, let me write your name down. I'll send you the link. So when you're done painting all your flames and you want to go back in and you want to put your logs back in a little bit better. Right, so once you're done painting all your flames, you can put your logs back in a little bit better. Right, here, there, not everywhere, because the glow would be on the logs. So you don't want to get rid of that effect. But, you know, you might want to put them in a little bit better if you wound up covering them with a lot of paint. Okay, and you want to do your, you know, your little circles that we did before, remember? Okay, guys, and then for the coals, where you put those white dots, you're going to turn around and do the red and yellow trick again. So where those white dots are, you're just going to do the red and yellow trick again. You're just going to cover over all of your coals with this red and yellow. So then this way you get the red and yellow on the black coals. And the white ones look like they're actually the glowing ones. Okay, so the red and yellow trick works 6,000%. Okay, so you guys, so the replay for this is always available. If you go onto my site, now I love you all, and I will send you, I'll send you the links, but I just want to let you know that if you go on my Facebook page and hit the videos tab, you're going to get this whole list of videos, and the how-tos are there for now. Eventually, they're only going to be available on my YouTube page, but we're still working on that. So when that happens, I'm going to let everybody know. I'm going to let everybody know when that happens, when the links, the how-to links are only going to be available on the how-to page. Hasn't happened yet, but it will. And yes, Kim, so I saw, all right, so let me write. So Melissa McGee would like me to send you the link. I will definitely do that. And Kim, yes, I saw that campfire painting everybody was trying on one of the groups there. And yeah, so hopefully this helps if anybody tries the campfire paintings. So I did do a painting called Happy Little Campers that has a fire in it. So you guys can totally have fun creating your fires and all of that good stuff. All right, so the next thing I wanted to show you with the candle is, so the white, obviously white, you need to paint on it a few times. So it's see-through right now, and I kind of like it like that. I kind of like it like that. But just for you guys, I'm going to turn around and add to it. All right, so, oh, I also wanted to show you. All right, so I have a whole bunch of the events already set up. So I wanted to show you all the paintings, okay, guys? So, all right, so this Friday, somebody asked me for sunflowers. Now, I painted this painting eons ago, like eons ago. So this is this Friday. I call it Americana because we have the flag colors in there. So I can't even read the date when I painted this painting. So I painted this painting like a long time ago. And this is for this Friday, okay? So we have our sunflowers, we have our water pitcher, our birdhouse. Lots and lots of fun. And then St. Patty's Day is coming up. So the next Friday, Clover Hill. All right, so this is going to be the following Friday. Yeah, so this is going to be, I forgot who asked for sunflowers, so I wanted to throw that painting in there. So this is the following Friday. How cute is that? And then the Friday right before St. Patrick's Day, ba-bam, we've got our gold. So we definitely have our gold. So how much fun is this going to be, right? So those are our paintings coming up. I just wanted to show you guys, all right, because it's totally exciting. And I try to get a little original with the names. It doesn't always work out, though. All right, so for your benefit, guys, I'm going to do this flame for you, all right? And then we're going to be all set with my tutorial, unless you guys have other questions for me. If you have other questions for me, oh, you know what I wanted to show you, too? I was going to show you the palette knife with some of this stuff. Okay, so I wanted to show you the palette knife. So let me grab one of my palette knives. I'm going to grab the one that looks like a trowel. All right. And I'm going to grab my flat palette here. And I'm going to grab some white paint. So I'm going to put some white paint on here. And I'm going to put some yellow paint on here. Some red paint on here. Okay, so I'm grabbing some red paint. Everything's all a mushy mess right now because I was using all my paints. I'm going to grab some yellow, throw some yellow on there. So I wanted to show you that with a palette knife, you can do like the same type of glowy thing. Like if you wanted to go into your forest fire and put like a sunset glow almost. All right, so I wanted to show you some things with the palette knife because I didn't use the palette knife last time, and you guys have to remind me to throw palette knife in there because I'll totally space on the whole palette knife thing. Okay, so I got my knife that kind of looks like a trowel, and I've got my different colors on here. Let me get some clean red on there. That red's got like all sorts of stuff going on in there. All right, so what you can do is you can turn around and you take your palette knife and you can pull your colors out here. Right? So I just got red and yellow on here. Just some red and yellow. Now I'm going to grab a little bit of white on the tip of this. Alright, so red, yellow, and white on the tip of this, okay? And I'm going to come up into here on my forest fire. And I'm going to do like rays of light. Alright, so I'm going to put my palette knife onto my canvas. And you just want, it has all these pretty colors on there, and you just want to press and pull. You just press and pull. And I had a little too much white. It looks like a meteor. I just did like a meteor ray, right? Hello. Right? So I'm just pulling and pressing with those colors on my knife. And then since the yellow didn't really show up, I'm going to grab just yellow. And I'll do the yellow. Alright, so you guys can have fun putting in rays of light. Oh, smoke? You guys want to see smoke? Okay, I can show you smoke. Okay, so you guys can have fun like putting like rays of light in with your palette knife, like just by adding like red and yellow to the sides, and you can make all these like rays of light coming in. And you know, it really does pretty cool because you can do like the flames with the red and yellow and white because it like breaks it up. Like when you put this on, see how like you get all these little breaks in there? Like I'm not really painting this on anything. Like obviously you would paint this into your fires playing with your palette knife. So, but you can do the same exact thing with your palette knife and you can make all these fun things happen. Like you can make all these little flames shooting up just by doing your palette knife in that direction. See that like awesome little flame that I just got right there by putting the weird colors? Let me give you a close-up to that because that was cool. See that? See that flame? And all I did was put the colors on my knife and squiggle it. That's all I did. I just put the colors on my knife. I went to the canvas here and I did a swoop and squiggled it. Okay, so let me show you again. So I got the red and the yellow on my knife, the tiniest amount of white. And I'm going to put my knife onto my canvas nice and flat here. I'm going to pull and do a squiggle. Pull and then squiggle. And you'll get like a really cool like flame that has all these colors in it. And then you just kind of play and fix it up a little bit. So it's up to you, you know, if you want to try using palette knife. Palette knife takes a lot of finesse and practice. But you can do like a dancing fire if you want to do like a fire burst and then pull all of this out. Like you could just have, like when it comes to palette knife, guys, my one tip to you, like look, that looks like a fire flower. Well, there's a glare on it, so you guys are having a hard time seeing it, but it looks really cool from my end. Right? So, palette knife takes a lot of, you just play. And the only, Lisa went rogue. I went rogue too, because I grabbed the palette knife, so I'm making all these weird things now. The only thing I want to let you know about the palette knife is just have fun with it, because it does take some practice. Anything with fire is beautiful, right, Ben? Okay, so you want smoke. All right, and Lisa went rogue. That's awesome. Okay, so I wanted to do the flame on the candle. Let me not forget that. And then we'll do some smoke. Yeah, palette knife, Lisa, palette knife's probably going to drive you crazy because there's no control to it. There's like some control, but not a lot. So, and you know, you can go into like, say you do a candle, you can grab your palette knife and like grab that white and that red and that yellow, and you can go into like the candle and give it like candle texture, like wax. You know, like you can make it look like wax dripping on your candle just by pushing this around. So you can make that look like wax is dripping off of the candle. But it takes practice with this sucker, and it takes a lot of finessing, and you have to kind of let yourself just have fun and know that you're not going to do a swipe like Bob Ross and turn around and have exactly what you want the first time you do it. And the other thing is that, you know, it all depends on the colors you put on your knife. So, you know, you have to pay attention to the amount of color you're putting on there and all that good stuff. But if you do like a candle painting, you can make like a complete, what's that called, an impasto or whatever, like with the wax and the glow. And I am just grabbing like my yellow and my white and just playing around and making this really, really thick paint. And you can make this look really cool. And then I'm going to lightly pull it down. Lightly pull it down. Lightly pull it down. See? So you're going to have all these fun things going on. Lightly pull it down. So sometimes you get to press hard with the palette knife, and sometimes you have to go lightly with it. All up to you. All right. Right, Kim? Yep, so it looks pretty cool. Actually, it looks like wax dripping, so it's pretty awesome. It's a lot of fun. And you just have to, you know, you have to play around, and you have to have fun with it. You know, you can't get frustrated, because there's a lot of finessing, and a lot of it depends on what colors you put on the knife. It looks really cool doing the candle. It looks really cool making dancing waves. Dancing waves. Hello. Dancing flames. Right? So it's all just a fact of having fun with it. And, you know, like if you saw, I had to manipulate that a few times. I didn't just go swoop and have the candle look like that. You know, I had to play with it. So that's what you guys have to remember. You have to, you know, relax and play with things. You know, and you can do, like I said, you can do like all sorts of stuff. You could have put those flames in the forest fire with it. You know what I'm saying? Just by doing squiggles, having those colors on your brush, you can do the flames in the fire. You know what I'm saying? So you can do lots of fun stuff with the palette knife. But like I said, it takes practice. I hear you with that, Ben. I hear you. That's cute. So, you know, you can't do much with paint, but give you some drywall and you're good to go. I like that. That's funny. All right, so we need smoke and the flame, and I need to grab some paper towel here, and I just made a mess. Look at my mess I'm making on myself here. I'm making a mess. That's what we do as artists. We make messes. We make messes and then we clean them up. That's what we do. So, the look of the candle's pretty cool with the palette knife. So that's fun stuff. And I am just cleaning off this. Note to self, guys, these plastic palettes that are like this and flat, you need to wipe the paint off of them like immediately while it's still wet. Otherwise you wind up with this. And it doesn't come off. Like, it really doesn't. So if you buy these little plastic flat palettes for yourself, you have to wipe the paint off while it's still wet. If you don't wipe the paint off while it's still wet, it gets dried on there and you can't get it off without scraping your palette like crazy. So just a little heads up. Just a little heads up with that. Yes, so when you're doing palette knife on paper, it's hard to do because you need the stretch of the canvas. It actually plays off with the bounce of the canvas. So if you don't have that bounce and that stretch and that movement in your canvas, it's really hard. It's really, really hard. All right, so back to my small brush. And we're going to go into this flame. We're going to schmooze this flame up, okay? So I'm going to grab my white paint. And I just put my hand in our cool little candle effect here. I just put my hand all up in there. So I'm going to take the white paint and I'm going to swoop around this way on the bottom of my flame. So we're going to swoop it around this way. Like that. All right, and then I'm going to grab, you guys want a blue flame? You want a blue flame or a red flame? You want a blue flame or a red flame, people? Tell me what you want. Blue flame or red flame? Let me know. Let's take a vote. Let's take a vote. Yeah, so using your palette knife on canvas paper is very hard. You actually need the bounce of the canvas. It actually helps out a lot. And smoke. You guys wanted to see smoke. So while I'm waiting for you guys to tell me whether you want a blue flame or red. Oh, we got a bunch of reds. We got a bunch of blues. We got 2 blues and 3 reds so far. Wait, 1 blue, 1 red, 1 red. Oh, it's a tie. The next person in, it's a tie. It's 2 reds and 2 blues. We got 2 reds and 2 blues. We got blue, red, red, blue. The next person that chimes in, that's the color it's going to be. Blue! Kim broke the tie, and Lori's saying purple. I love it, Lori. Blue! All right, blue is winning. Okay, so I'll do blue. Purple. You want a purple flame? We could do a purple flame. I don't mind doing purple. I'll throw a little purple in it. Why not? All right, so I did that little bit of white right in here, right? So that was fun. And what you want to do is I'm grabbing that blue paint. And I'm grabbing some of that white. You want purple too, Lisa? All right, I'll throw a little purple in this flame. Why not? What the heck? Let's have some fun. So throwing some blue and white together. All right, and I'm going to come in here. And I'm going to go on the inside of where I put that white. And follow my thing up. So we're just going on the inside of where I put that white already. Okay? So I kind of treat a flame like this, kind of like glass almost. Kind of like glass. Okay, so, and then you want to put the darker part. So you guys want purple? I'll do the purple. All right, so we got red, we got blue and white, And you mix that all together, and if the red didn't have yellow in it, it would have came out really pretty. So we mix that all together, we get a nice purple, right? So you take that, blue with a red outline and a purple core. All right, sounds good to me. So, you know, you do a darker color in there, and you just kind of want to flick that through to the top. Just going to flick that through. Like here, there, not everywhere. So you want to do the darker color, and then on this part, you're going to do like some little pieces. Just very, very light with the paint on the one side. So on the one side, you're going to do the light pieces. And now I'm going to grab just blue, and I'm going to put some really dark pieces in this. And I'm following the curve of that teardrop. So you just want to put some dark pieces in there like that. And then I'm going to wipe off my brush, and I'm going to grab some white paint. If this was the reds and the yellows, this would have been all reds, and then I would have grabbed yellows for this side. But since this is the blues and the purples, I'm going to grab the white paint and come on this side of the flame. And I'm going to put in the lighter color on this side of the flame. Okay, so, and I can grab some of the purple and put some of the purple in there. So you want to follow the shape of the flame. And you want to do like I did the shadowing and the shading with the 3Ds. You want to turn around and kind of follow those rules, like having one side lighter than the other. And I'm just going to grab some more purple paint here, which is blue and red mixed together. And I'm going to come back in here and add a darker color now, kind of bending around. And I'm just doing little dabs in there, that's all. Just little dabs. Okay, and then you could follow that up all the way up to your tip. You can add some of that in there. Okay, and then you want to turn around and take just white paint. You want to take just white paint, and you're going to just add some white paint to your tip. So your tip's always going to be a lighter color. Always going to be a lighter color. Okay, so you just add that to your tip. You can add a few little white pieces, but you got to be careful, because if you notice when I added that one little white piece, I kind of lost my dark. You know what I mean? So you got to be careful when you're playing around with your white paint, because you don't want to lose the dark in there. And I have a tendency of losing the dark, so then I wind up playing with it like 6 times to get my dark and lights being perfect again. That's what happens to good old Eve over here. So when you're adding your lights and your darks, just try to have a little bit of self-control, a little more self-control than I do. All right, so just like that, you have a cool looking purpley flame. All right, and then I'm going to grab I'm wiped off my brush. I'm going to grab just white paint, and I'm going to put a little bit of pop of white on there, so it looks 3D. Okay, and once this dries even more, I would go back in and add a couple more little light white pieces. All right, so once that dries a little bit, I'm going to go in and add the white pieces to it. So smoke, somebody said smoke. All right, so smoke. Okay, so smoke is kind of like clouds, guys. So if you're adding smoke, you want me to do it above the campfire, I'll do it above the campfire. So if you're adding smoke, you're going to go fluffy with this. All right, so Fluffy, Fluffy, Fluffy. Where is Fluffy? I have Fluffy and my mess going on over here. He's over here somewhere. Here he is. Found him. All right, so I'm using my Fluffy brush, and I'm going to grab my white, and I'm going to grab my black. There's my black. Okay, so white and black on my brush. A little bit of black goes a really long way. So when you're smushing it, if it's coming out too dark, you want like a light gray. All right, and I'm just smushing that into my brush, my fluffy brush here. And what you want to do is you want to do swirl motions. So we're going to swirl. Okay, and you're going to start off really thin, and then it gets bigger as it swirls away, right? So we're just going to do swirls. I'm doing swirls, very light touch, small amount of paint. And I'm just going to do these swirls in. Okay? So that's all I'm doing. Some swirls one way, some swirls the other way. Like little parentheses everywhere. You just want to do. And obviously your cloud's going to get bigger the further away you get from your fire. So I'm just going to do some mushing right there. So just swirls. Right? Here, there, not everywhere. Okay? And then once you have that. Now I have all these cool colors working on this brush for me. So as I'm playing with it and pressing my brush a little harder, I'm getting like all these cool things coming out. So, you know, you can play if you like to just have the magic happen. And if you're more of a control person, once you have this base on, you want to add your lights and your darks. So I'm going to grab a little bit more black, make that gray a little darker. Okay, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to add the shadow pieces. So we're adding the shadow pieces here. Here, there, not everywhere. And just little smushes. That's all I'm doing. Little smushes. That's it. And then I'm going to take a dry brush, dry, flat brush, soft brush, and I'm going to soften that out. So I'm just doing circles. Just doing circles, and I'm going to soften this all out. So just doing circles and softening that out. Okay? And then I'm going to turn around and give my brush a little bit of swirl. And I'm going to grab my lighter color now. So I'm going to grab my white and that gray I made before. Okay, and have a lighter color, and then I'm going to put in my lighter color. So I'm going to put in these swirls of the lighter color. Okay, here, there, not everywhere. So making smoke is kind of like making a cloud. Well, it is a cloud. It's a cloud of smoke. So, you know, if I do have a how-to clouds video, so if you follow some of that, you'll be able to do your smoke. So this is like a really intricate, now I'm just fluffing, softening that all out again. So this is like a really intricate puff of smoke here for a little fire. I mean, that's up to you if you want to get that that detailed with it. You know, like knowing me, if I was doing a campfire, I probably would have stopped at the first step and just softened it. But, you know, it's your art. It's any way you want to do it. Now I'm just adding some more little pops of the lighter color in here. So I'm just grabbing my white paint and I'm adding these pops of color in here. Here, there, not everywhere, guys. Here, there, not everywhere, right? Because you don't want to lose your dark. I just talked about losing the dark and having to start all over. And now I'm just going to do like sweeping motions. I'm just going to do some sweeping motions with that. See that? I'm just sweeping it with the soft, dry brush to soften it out. Okay? I'm just doing sweeping motions. So, there is your smoke. And then you could go over it and you can really soften it just by going over it really soft. So, it's totally up to you. However you want to do it. So, any other questions, let me know, because I'm going to throw the little white highlights on our flame, and I'm going to call this session finished. So, let me know if you have any more questions for me. So, we're going to go over to our flame, and I'm going to grab that white paint that I had, and I'm going to grab that that purple that I made. Right, so I have a really, really light purple since you guys decided on a blue-purple flame. I'm going to go back in here and I'm going to add some of those lighter pieces. Some of those lighter pieces in there. It's kind of hard to see, but I'm doing it. I'm adding those lighter pieces. Maybe if I bring the camera closer. Okay, so I'm adding these lighter pieces in here on the edge. And then I'm going to grab just my white. And I'm going to put in the highlights on here. So just my white paint. It's with the dirty brush, so there's still some purple going on. I'm not going like straight white with it. And And then I'm going to wipe that off and grab some of my little darker color. And I'm going to blend this in a little bit, right? Go back and forth. So I'm going to grab my darker color since that's dancing and blend that all in a little bit. And there you have it. There you have a detailed flame. It's a flame for the fire. Yeah. So, like I said, you just want to have fun. You want to play. Oh, Joy, the tattoo, right? Hello. All right, guys, I'll show you my tattoo. All right, so there's the smoke, there's the flame to whoever's practicing along with me. And my tattoo, oh, I can't show you both, so you have to, my tattoo's a dragon. So I'm Big Mama Dragon there. And then in the circle, I have my daughter. So it's not finished yet. It's one of those tattoos that'll never be finished, but it is a very large dragon. All right, so thank you so much, guys, for joining me tonight. Thank you, everybody. We had Judy here. We had Lisa, Joy, Jackie. Kim was new to the family, so I hope you had a good time. Michelle, Melissa, Diane, Doreen, Sharon, Tanya, Jeanette, Tori. We had some international, baby. Thank you, Kim, and Lori, and Rachel, and Tracy, Patricia, Theodora, and Jerry, and Cheryl, and all of my fam joining me tonight. So I hope you learned a lot. I hope you enjoyed your practice session. Always free to watch. Gratuities are appreciated. I will post the links now. So thank you. So tips are always appreciated. Art supplies don't buy themselves. That is for sure. If you think I'm awful and you don't want to give me a gratuity or a tip, then you could turn around and support somebody else. All right, but all of us artists need our help nowadays. And like I said, I hope you guys learned a lot. I hope when you go back to do your campfire painting with your marshmallows that it comes out really, really cool for you. And I just hope everybody has a great Tuesday evening. I can't wait to see you on Friday to do our Americana. So in a few days, I will see you. And we will all have fun as a family again. So I'm here. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you. So I'm trying to position the camera so you can see all the goodies going on there. Oh, awesome, Michelle. Yes. Oh, so guys, thank you so much for joining me tonight. This is Eve. This is Eve's Creations Paint Party. And Michelle, you just reminded me of my closer. I just want to tell you, all of you, that you warm my heart, and have fun and go create. Okay? Thank you. So you reminded me of my closing when you said you had fun practicing with it, Michelle. So that was cute. I like to tell everybody to have fun and go create when I finish my videos up. Penny, I'm glad you had a good time. Thank you so much, Lisa. I hope you had fun practicing. There's lots of cool things to practice. So I will see you soon, love. Mwah. Thank you so much, everybody. Oh, I'm drinking my seltzer. If anybody is interested in the kits, the information is on the event page, and you can look for it there, or you can message me. If any of you ever have any questions while you're painting, feel free to message me. Replays are always free. And if you see any painting that you would like to purchase, that you see me doing a painting, those are all for sale also. So they are all under $50. So if you see a paint party of mine and you see that first original painting, that is for sale, because I am getting a lot of them. If I showed you my painting collection, you guys would be like, holy shnikes. I have a lot of paintings, guys. So if anybody would like a Eve's original, and I could customize them any way you'd like, I'd be more than happy to do that with you. So you can just message me. So I hope everybody had a wonderful evening tonight. And I hope you all have fun and go create. I have crates full, Lisa. I have I learned that those little milk crates from Michael's hold a 16 by 20 canvas perfectly. And I have about 6 or 7 of those filled, and plus all of my gallery work. So I am going to have my own solo gallery show soon, and it's going to be all my abstracts. That's going to be a lot of fun. So, and we're getting the YouTube channel going. So these replays for the how-tos aren't going to be available on my Facebook page for very much longer. They're going to be available on the YouTube. And then eventually I'll go live from YouTube. So, but the channel is all set up. I just have to learn how to use it. Well, just so away and start selling them, because I know a bunch of your friends love them so much. So, gotta learn to let them go. Let it go. So, I know sometimes it's hard to sell your artwork because you put so much time and heart and soul into it, but it's time to let somebody else enjoy it. So, this was a long class. I'm just looking at the time. It's almost 9. Hey, happy Tuesday, Tracy. You got it, girlfriend. That's right. It's Tuesday. It is Tuesday. Okay, Lisa. Yeah, I'll totally tell you what I do. No worries there. I'll tell you how I ship out my paintings. It's what you want to do is the packaging your canvases come in. Sometimes they have like the plastic or the stiff board in between them. You want to save that stuff. And any cardboard you want to save. You want to start saving big pieces of cardboard. Along with the paintings you already have, you want to have cardboard on hand, or any of the stiff separators that they might put in between the canvases when you buy them. That's okay, Tracy. We're just finishing up now. Yep. So we did fire. It was a lot of fun. And, of course, you can watch the replay. So anytime, love. Anytime. We had lots of new people watching tonight, so that was really cool. Yeah, so save that, because that's what you use to support it. And then I honestly, all I do is I use, like a lot of times when your art supplies come in, they're with brown packaging paper or craft paper. I just save all of that, and that's what I wrap it in. So I put the cardboard on the front. Well, I put a stiff piece of plastic over the painting, and then I put the cardboard on the front of the canvas. If I have enough, I put it on the back. And then I wrap it in the brown paper. And that's how I ship them out. And so far, so good with everybody. So that's how I do it. And you just want to put on the you want to put on the packaging fragile, so it doesn't wind up getting punctured. But putting the cardboard on the front definitely helps. If you have enough, put a piece on the back too. Yeah, keep saving that. I know, more stuff to have. More stuff to have. So, that's all. It's time to let somebody else enjoy them. That's all there is to it. So, and on that note, I'm going to say goodnight, everybody. So, goodnight. I will have the link available for replay. And like I said, in the near future, the replays will be available on YouTube. So I'll share that. Yeah, right? So, good night, sweetie. Good night, everybody. Thanks for watching. You all warm my heart. Have fun and go create. Okay? Mwah. Have a good night.